Hello, welcome back you guys. Originally I was planning for this video to be just some basic gameplay of the newly released Star Wars Battlefront 2, but while playing I did find some major exploits, bugs, and glitches and other things that need to be addressed to DICE and EA to have them fix this as soon as possible. I know there are people on PC complaining about the large number of hackers and that has been posted on all over the forums, so I'm sure that they are aware of that. I also know that a lot of people have been complaining about the lag and the huge rubber banding effect that's been going on. I've experienced that myself, and they have announced that they are addressing those complaints. And as a disclaimer that I really want to emphasize here, I'm not promoting anyone to do this. I am doing this for informational purposes to help the developers get this fixed and patched as soon as possible. If you decide to abuse this, you do run the risk of getting possibly banned, as it is against EA's Terms of Service rules and Xbox Live's Code of Conduct, which can both be found in the description below if you want to read those. It even says it counts these intentional abuse of bugs, glitches, exploits as cheating, and because you're trying to gain an unfair advantage or disrupt the game for others. Xbox Live Enforcement, though, seems to be more focused on catching hackers and modders, messing with their hardware, than going after exploiters in games, because they usually let those situations be handled by the developers for enforcement. But if you get enough reports on your account, more likely Xbox Live will investigate it, and if they catch you doing this, you could run the risk of temporarily or permanently getting banned. And if you know anything about Xbox Live enforcement lately, they have been bringing down the hammer a lot. I even decided to ask about one of these exploits to someone that could give me an answer on it, because a few people in my videos and even on the forum tried to even comment saying that this wasn't considered an exploit, this was considered legitimate, that it was considered okay to do, that it was skill or whatever reason they need to give themselves to consider it okay. And I decided, let's settle the argument, let me find out from a source. So I decided to contact Xbox Live. It took a few people to talk to, but I finally got someone higher up on there that was able to give me an answer on that, and they were able to tell me that yes, spawn killing an LAAT with the AAT, just sitting there, and the second it spawns in, you just keep blowing up and racking lots of points and ranking up very fast with it. It does consider it as a spawn killing situation, and that it does in fact count as being exploitative, and as Xbox rules do say, that exploits are considered cheating. So if you do this, you are in fact cheating. So that's what he had to say, that it was exploitative, and that I should actually make a video on this so that DICE can address it and get it patched, because that is actually something unfair. So I was hoping to get that fixed, and yep, we got an answer from them that this is in fact exploitative. So spawn killing in pretty much any game is considered exploitative. It's just something that people always keep trying to argue to legitimize because they feel it's okay, but in the end, almost every game patches it. EA and all their games have also patched it, so more likely if Xbox Live considers this an exploit, more than likely EA considers it an exploit as well. Because they've been patching exploits, spawn killing for years. So it doesn't matter how you feel on this, whether or not these are considered exploits to you. It's what the fact is, and they consider these exploits. So just because you say, well, it's not as bad as this is, it doesn't matter. It's still an exploit. You can't say, well, I don't consider it an exploit. Doesn't matter. It's an exploit. Just like if you don't think that wearing your seatbelt in a car should be against the rules or against the law, it doesn't matter. You get pulled over, it's against the law. If you don't get caught, doesn't mean it isn't against the law. It just means you didn't get caught. So again, that's just how it is. You just have to deal with it. No matter how much you feel about the loot crate system and the insane grind, which I agree with you is very excessive and not needed in this game, it still does not, legitimize you doing this. So with that being said, if you still decide to abuse this, knowing that you are running the risk of the consequences, whether or not you remember agreeing to them or not. So with that being cleared out of the way there, and confirming what is considered an exploit, let's get started with the video, shall we? So there was one clip I was not able to get in the footage here. I just haven't been able to come across it in time to actually record it. I just keep forgetting to record these. There are some times where you'll find people are using rubber bands on the controller, and Also using something that constantly press the A button so that it's always like having them jump up and down and spin around circles, so it looks like they're moving in the game program and not idle, but in reality they aren't. That's just a way that they're trying to boost credits. That's one thing that I'll link in a video of someone else showing how to do that and how you know people are using this to exploit the game. Okay, and this one is not any intended exploit. This is an unintended glitch. This is where basically when one of the enemies tried to go up and melee me, he died. Right as he died, he hit the wall, and so this melee just stayed stuck there, and basically kept doing the melee attack. So even though he's dead, if anyone walked near, like me, which I took damage, and then later on another guy walks by and he does damage, and so basically it just kind of just lingers there even though the player's dead. It eventually seems to go away after a while, but yeah, it's just a glitch I thought it should be reported because it could cause some problems. Okay, and this one is just hardcore rubber band, you know, lag, just constantly like hardcore. This is just the bad lag in the game. It's just atrocious. It's horrible. You're trying to run and you just keep getting lagged back to your original spot, and it just gets frustrating after a while. So yeah, I thought I should also show one of these in here, rubber banding effect going on. And the next clip we got here, this is where Boba Fett has found an exploit spot. This is an intended exploit where he's found a way to basically make it so that he disrupts the game by making it so that the enemy can't get to him. So the heroes can't get to him when he's the target. Someone just was doing this in the game, and when I saw this, I thought I should definitely record this because this is definitely a problem. Basically, the walls don't have any collision mesh for the player, so basically they can just walk through that wall with no problem. So something has to be put on it because yeah, I can just go right inside that wall and just hide in there. Usually, if you use Han or Leia, those can help get this guy out of that spot. It's not always guaranteed, but with Leia, if you use like an explosive shot or use Han's like, you know, rapid fire mode, you could possibly do enough damage and get him to freak out and mess up and not be able to run back into his hole like he tries here because he got too panicky and ended up, you know, messing it up, and then ends up, you know, going around the corner getting killed. But so far that's the only way. And then I show myself actually in the spot just so you guys can see what's happening here. And it's not just one area, it's multiple areas you can get in from. The area he got in from is the easiest to get in, but on the exact opposite side ledge, you can do the exact same thing, get in there. But yeah, I just decided to go in and take a look around here and see what's through this wall, just if there's any other areas within it. But mostly the best way to probably fix this one is a soft kill or something, just basically make it so they can't come in here. Preferably they just make it just complete physical collision mesh so they cannot go in here at all. That would be the best solution. But yeah, I just thought I should show what happens with this map, just because there's no way to get to this guy. And he can stay up here all he wants, and the only way he can is with ranged heroes. But overall, it sucks when he gets up here because there's nothing you can really do about it. Okay, now the next one we have here, this one you're all gonna get really annoyed by. This one is the one that's probably a few people I've seen on the forums complain about. This one is we take a 200, battle point speeder bike, and you just run over these heroes that are 6,000 to 8,000, and it's a total troll move. This one it's definitely intended, but it's also intended by developers, have an instant kill. They just probably didn't realize that how bad it is, that you just, one hit the enemy and it doesn't really, take much effort. And you just keep killing the enemies doing this over and over, and they can't do anything about it. Like, these heroes, all these guys, like, spent all this time gathering up 6,000 to 8,000 points, and all I had to do is buy a $200 or 200 battle point speeder bike, and I could just run them over. So there's nothing they can really do about it, and they get really mad. Even this Han Solo guy that I eventually go after, even though I die, I kill him as the bike flies into him. And, just imagine that. All that money just spent and just gone. All of it. Okay, and the next one we have here, this one is another one I found from another video, but also thought I should go more in depth on watching how badly you can abuse this, which is why they need to get this definitely patched as well. Basically with the Wookiee, if you don't finish using his special combo, you have to press both the left and right bumpers. It refills automatically, so you don't lose it. So basically, if you activate it for a short period of time, use a bit of it, but you deactivate it right before the timer runs out, you can use it again and again, and you just keep repeating this. And you can just go on for mad sprees without ever having to worry. And because of that, you basically just are like a walking tank, and no one can do anything about it. So you just watch here just how bad it gets. Want to show you that it's caused by join in progress. This is an unintended glitch where basically some of the textures, some of the materials on the character don't show up, they disappear. And because of that, it's random for different people. It seems to only affect join in progress players because other people can see me, but I can't see them, I can't see myself. I just see gunfire going off, but I can't see anybody. And what happens is they can still see me, my textures and everything, but I see just an invisible person with a red light above their head. That's about it. Um, Other than that, I can't see anything else, and it happens several times. And what I've noticed is it's when you join in progress. It doesn't happen when you just are in a match. From what I've seen, it just happens every time you finish a match and the next round is supposed to start, but instead of starting from fresh, it just puts you in another lobby, and it seems like as if it doesn't fully load everything in, so everyone's just invisible and you can't see them. So that's just something I just wanted to show here. It gets pretty funny though, especially when you get into some of the vehicles that don't have the textures on, like the A-Wing. It looks pretty funny. It looks like you're just flying with like, rockets, planes coming out of the back. It just looks hilarious. But yeah, this is just one of those unintended glitches where the textures were all buggy. Okay, next one here is a buggy glitch. I don't know any ways I caused it to happen, but some people said that either pressing the A or the X button, or for PlayStation, pressing the square button or the triangle button, or one of those, can cause you to get knocked out of your vehicle. Sometimes you fall to your death. Sometimes you just land on something and you can actually survive on it. But there's no way to kill yourself apparently. I tried to press the option and it wouldn't let me hit respawn. So I was trying to get people's attention and it shit at me. And I just wanted to show this off because it happens a few times while I was trying to show a different exploit that was going on with the LAAT, and this happened. Yeah, and so after eventually a while, someone eventually killed me, which I was like, thank you. But yeah, that's that glitch right there for you. And the next one coming up, this is more of a balancing kind of debate. I don't really have a perfect solution. Hopefully, Dice knows how to balance it out. Basically, LAAT is like very weak. I mean, the best two sniper rifles in the game, the IQA mainly, can just take this thing out real quick. And I get that it's supposed to have some weakness, but I don't think it should be this quick to get killed by. But also, in the exact opposite, the LAAT I believe is like way too powerful on its own. It's like both these situations, the person or the vehicle is super weak, but they have weapons that take each other out in a matter of seconds, and it's kind of just awkward. The whole this guy with a sniper rifle can just sit here and one-handedly shoot the guy out of the vehicle, but it's not as bad as some of the other things that I've seen. But I just wanted to go over this because of the fact that you can just sit here all day, just snipe them, and just destroy the LAAT every time. It's not really that as bad compared to some of the other things though, because what I'm about to show you is going to start getting worse on exploits. But yeah, you can just practically just keep killing this guy over and over, and it's pretty annoying to have it done to you. But it's not as bad because as now that I'm more knowledgeable on this map, I know other people do the same thing to me, and I just shoot them with the laser and kill them. But it's just this odd feeling of like how it's just kind of a little bit too easy for the sniper to kill the LAAT. It should be a little more of a challenge. You can also do the same thing with a sentry gun too. And also with the laser on the LAAT, it's just so powerful. It just can rip everyone through like so quickly, and I I think it's kind of a little bit too strong. I think instead what they should kind of do is nerf its damage a bit, but they should also add in the ability that when you zoom in, the LAAT kind of slows down because when you try to zoom in with that thing, the frame rate just drops instantly. Like your frame rate just can't keep up, and it's just like lagging all over the place. So you have to like just kind of eyeball it without zooming in, because on the Xbox it just lags. I don't know if it's the same way with PC and PlayStation, but with Xbox it is like that. And so I just thought I should just mention that. I think maybe the IQA is intended for taking out anti-air. I think that when it comes to the LAAT, it should get a little bit more help, just because it's just, it's harder to kind of, work with a vehicle that's stuck on rails. Um, Unfortunately, I don't have any gameplay of like being in the U-wing, because it hardly ever comes to that situation. So I don't know where the U-wing stands in this. If it's kind of in the same state. I wish I had seen more gameplay of the U-wing, but unfortunately, I have not actually gone even one match with the U-wing, because no one ever makes it far enough on the Imperial team when they're on the offense. But yeah, just was just putting this video out here, see what you guys thought about this. Because both the sniper and the LAT, I have, kind of different opinions on, the fact that they don't seem to be very well balanced with their meta. They seem like they're kind of off. Again, the sniper should be like having to take a little more damage to the LAT to kill it, and I think the LAT should, have its damage reduced. It should be this like OP his OP AC-130 that just, touches you and just boom, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. And if I wanted to, as bad as some of these clips here, you could just slaughter the entire team for hours and they can never get out of their spawn point, which is also another problem. But yeah, anyways, I just thought I should show both of these in, side-by-side clips. But that's just something that I feel is just a little imbalanced. That's the only clips I have for anything I feel is unbalanced. Other than that, I don't have really anything else for unbalances. The next ones I'm going to show you, though, are big-time exploits that need to get patched. They're the kind of the main ones that need to get addressed here. Okay, here now. I know that right off the bat, I'm gonna get the comments of people still in the forums and even on the video here still trying to argue that this is not in any way exploitative. But again, I already addressed at the beginning of the video, this is an exploit, and you are just practically just killing the LAAT barely when it gets into the game and just farming kills off of it, which is in fact an exploit. It's just spawn killing, spawn trapping, whatever you want to call it. It takes only 4 shots to destroy the LAAT with the AAT, and only 2 shots if you link fire it. Basically, this one I feel is more exploitive because of the fact that it has less factors in it. There's almost nothing that can kill you. I'll go into detail all the people that said like what you could do to fight back against it, and I'll show you that those don't work. So basically, you just have to, know the spawn areas on the 2 maps, Naboo and Kashyyyk, and basically, if you know those spawn areas, you can just sit here all day. Naboo was the one I kept constantly getting. It's a little more tricky with the buildings, but Kashyyyk, on the other hand, it is just absolutely atrocious. There's nothing, protecting the AA or the LAAT at all, and you can just farm it right off the bat when it comes in. The second you see it, you can already start shooting at it. This one you can't, necessarily see it right off the bat, but you know where it's going to come from, so you can just sit there and wait for it as it comes in. And this is the part that I don't see how anyone can, say that it's okay to do this, because it's flat out like, here you go, come on in, and then just, already get shot at. Yeah, I was first getting used to this after I found out about this, so I don't really know their spawners that well, so I'm trying to get used to it at first in this first couple of clips. By the time I get to Kashyyyk, it's just a bloodbath. It's just basically, the second they get in it, they get, killed. And there's some terrible arguments. Like, there's arguments that try to say, oh, just don't get in it. It does, if you notice, the people I'm killing in this, no matter what happens, even if they go, okay, I won't get in it, someone else will. There's 19 other players that will get in it. And, by the time it goes full circle, the first person will say, well, maybe that AAT guy finally went away, and he gets in and he finds out. So it's just a whole loop cycle that I can just keep, exploiting to keep going and racking up points. This one I gained way more points than the other one I'm going to show you, but the other one actually you can get way more points. But when I was playing, because of the fact that I don't have to play on a whole bunch of depending factors, I can benefit from this. So the bomber just crashed into the building. But yeah, now I'm in the spot here. I'm almost perfectly set here, and if I just, it spawns in, I can hit it. And the thing is, I don't have to depend on anyone to do this. I just, the only dependent factor is people getting in the vehicle, which I know they always will. And I decided to do some math on this. Thought, how many points can you get doing this? I averaged out, it takes about 10 seconds to spawn queue, and it takes, maybe 10, 15 minutes to spawn in, or maybe just 5 minutes. It depends on Kashyyyk. Not 5 minutes. 5 seconds. 5 seconds to spawn in with 10 seconds spawn queue. That means 4 times a minute if people kept getting in it, and there was no glitches of people getting knocked out of the vehicle or anything, and they kept doing that. It's 10 minutes on Kashyyyk on average for stage 1 to get completed. So you do the math there. It's 800 points per kill. You can do it 4 times a minute, and it's about 10 minutes long. Do the math there. You rack up close to almost 50,000 battle points right there. And people think that's not a problem, but that actually is a problem. That's just huge exploit right there. I mean, again, do the math for you. Again, 15 seconds in total, 10 seconds to spawn in, and 5 seconds to kill the LAAT the second you see it. So doing that, again, 800 points. You add all that up, that's 48,000, almost close to 50,000. That's if you don't decide to do anything at all. If you decide just only focus on LAAT, that's what you get. If you decide to also shoot at air vehicles, which they try to say, oh, use air vehicles to take it down, I get a ton of kills on them while I'm in the AAT. So it's not actually a good argument, because I can just keep blowing them up. And they just know to stay away from me because I can just keep shooting them whenever they try to bring in the bomber. And that's I'm going to show you like how that's not a good argument to say, oh, you can just use the bombers. The bombers are not going to help. The bombers are not going to help you at all, especially in Naboo, where it's full of buildings and I can just easily find a place to hide. Yeah. The thing is, though, it was the highest amount I ever got in a match was, I think, on Naboo. It was about, like, either Naboo or Kashyyyk. I got, like, I think it was actually Kashyyyk, actually. I got about 45,000 because of the fact that also Stage 2 spawns in the LAAT, and I don't have to worry about the MTT getting damaged. So I could rack up a lot of points on that. I think the highest one, which before I started recording these clips, I got 45,000. And I noticed now because of it, more and more people are finding out about it. More people are exploiting this, exploit because it's just way easy. You just, have to know where to spawn in, and you shoot them. Naboo, a little bit trickier, but Kashyyyk, it's easy. Every time it spawns a little bit above the Venator class ship in the background, and you just know how to, angle a little up and to the left. And once you got the hang of that, you can just keep farming that over and over, and there's nothing they can do about it. They can't shoot back, they can't really do anything to you. And the bombers that they try to say they can stop you, they can't. I'll show you later on these clips. Bombers try to go after me, fighters try to go after me, and they just get wrecked. They just get wrecked. They just add more points to my pool of 3 points because it's just so powerful. They have to like either reduce the range on this or nerf the damage it does to air vehicles or something. But they also, main point of it all is they can't have that LAAT just sitting in the not able to attack the AAT. They have to actually force this AAT to actually be up in the action. Because you can just sit back and not have to worry about getting attacked. Again, that's one of the bonus factors, is you do not have to worry about anything else other than people getting into vehicles and shooting them. That's it. That's the only other factor. And if you're really not paying attention, that's the only way you could probably get killed by a bomber. If you're just not paying attention. That's it. And oh, what happens if you die? Like, just theoretically, if you were to get killed by a bomber, I probably got like, a couple, 5, 10 kills after that. I could just spawn in another one. It's not that hard. And you've already wasted, 150 battle points buying a bomber to try and kill me, and you probably died in the progress with it. Or you probably forgot about it and had some other fighter chasing after you, and end up killing you. So again, it's not even a good argument. I mean, see right here, when we get to Kashyyyk, it's bad. It is so bad. You could just sit here all day and they can't do anything. Look at this. I'm shooting them out of the air. I'm shooting fighters. I'm shooting bombers. I'm shooting anyone out of the air. They can't do anything to me because I am just this like I'm almost at like this point at this stage. I think I'm only using one hand at this point. I just not even bothering because it's so easy. And even when they do try to come directly at me, it's not even gonna do anything. It's not gonna do anything. See this right there, right where my cursor's kind of pointed out. That's where it spawns in. A little bit past a little building. Yeah, see? You're gonna tell me this is legit. Anyone's gonna say, "Oh, that's totally strategy, bro. That's totally skill." No, it's not. You can't even fight back. Like, look at that. Oh, what do you do? Like, no damage to my vehicle. Like, a little bit of damage to my health, and that's about it. And so that's again. Also, you'll notice that if you do play in the LAAT, you'll notice that the AAT has basically no like certain areas on it that you can't do damage. You can't do damage to the main body. You only do damage to near the front part of the AAT and the head. The rest of it, it's like it's invulnerable or something. So I don't know what's up with that. And it's really, really annoying. So that's what I'm just trying to show you. And it's pretty simple how to get into one really quickly. Best class I use to sometimes get into it is the heavy class. You pop down, one of the turrets that can shoot a mile away, and that's one way you can do it. Or you just charge up with a sentry gun, use that as well. But yeah, and again, you can shoot from a distance. I don't have to put myself in harm's way. And again, it's not that much effort to do it. And the most, when I calculated it, it comes out to almost 50,000 just on AT killing the LAAT alone. But the next one I'm going to show you is the LAAT glitch itself, which is more exploited than people probably know about. Most people just figure that you just keep tapping the fire button and that just resolves the issue, but it actually doesn't. You can actually do something even more to gain even more points. And even though in that one the most I ever got was like 40,000-ish, a little bit over 40,000 on the LAAT, if you had a team working together and helping you out, you could definitely get even more points than this. I actually factored the math into it. There's some other factors you got to worry about, like the fact that you only get 90 seconds in the vehicle, plus whatever additional kills you get with time. You also get other things too, like you have to worry about, like the reason why I couldn't get as many points when I was in the LAAT was because of the fact that not enough people were doing damage to the MTTs. They weren't bothering to hit it, so maybe like only 3 or 4 times the entire match they ever got damaged, and I was in the area to do damage to it. Other than that, no one was ever doing damage to the LAATs, so that was another problem. And also because of the fact that more people using the AAT and farming kills off the LAAT, now it's not being used as much, so it's not being known that this thing is super exploitive if you use the LAAT. But because of the fact that you can't do any damage to me, I'm just basically invulnerable. Like this, there's nothing that's really going to happen to me. I do more damage to myself than I actually do to the enemy, or the enemy does to me, because of the fact that I just can't, get harmed. Because it's really hard for them to fly around here. They got trees, they got buildings, they got everything. So what are they gonna do? Nosedive at me? That's not gonna end well for them. Again, here we go. Just keep killing them, and someone else will get in it next too. And it really isn't fair. It's not unfair at all. So the fact that anyone would consider this legit or anything is just someone that needs an excuse. This is totally abusive right here. It's just to do this. I could shoot him a lot sooner, but I just felt like, if I stay right here in the smoke, bombers have it even harder trying to see me because of smoke. So that's why I use this area. But again, I'm just gonna let this the rest of the clips just play out here. But you're gonna pretty much see that it's a given. It's an exploit. There's no more argument about this. I mean, I'm glad Xbox let me know about this. Like say like put this out there for DICE to see, and also there's no doubt about it. It's an exploit. So the debate is over on this. It's plain and simple. But you're definitely, at least we're going to agree on the LAAT. That needs to get fixed. So anyways, I'm just going to let the clip play out here.
AAT reporting damage. Unidentified ally has arrived.
Both MTTs at checkpoint 3.
Okay, and yeah, this is where it starts getting even more quicker to get kills, because basically you're right up to where the spawn is, so you can almost get rid of the whole 10-second or the 5 seconds of flying in, because you've completely gotten rid of that part of it, because you can shoot it right off the bat when it spawns in. I just did the back of the math, just the basic, just the simplified version, because if I wanted to get into the more complicated detail, like how much time does it take versus the first of stage area one, how quickly does it get there versus how quickly it gets to the very last of stage one. Um, there's a lot of other factors you have to add in there, so I'm just adding some plain factors in here. So it takes about, approximately, looking at it with the Excel spreadsheet, just doing quick math here. It takes 5 seconds to fly in and 15 or 10 seconds to spawn in if it goes like that every time, unless they like spawn with the AAT and it's only got 1 second left. And also there's no glitches or anything. Both phase 1 and phase 2 you can shoot the LAAT with the AAT for approximately about like maybe 15 minutes. So 15 minutes at times 800 points. That's 48,000 points in the match that you could get up to. And that's just if you shoot the LAAT and nothing else. If not the bombers or anyone else on the map. If you did, you could get even more. So that's why I say like you get close to 50,000 in 15 minutes. Though the LAAT is going to blow this away by far, even though in the end I got more points in the AAT because it had less depending variables. You're going to see with the LAAT what you could potentially get up to, and it's practically insane. That's what I'm going to put in the thumbnail there to show you guys just like how insane this exploit is. It's huge on how many points you can get in it. Oh, and by the time you get to the second phase, if you kill the the LAAT over the objective, you actually get an additional 1,000 points to this. I didn't factor that in because I'm not going to bother factor that in, but you know that it's going to even be more points than 50,000 if you keep doing that. See right there? I just got, playing the objective just because it was near when I blew it up. So I'm even getting more points farming off of it. And I just keep doing this, spawn it again. And there's Money Pyro, one of the people from the forum who, it's funny, I just happened to run into him in the middle of the game while trying to, film this. But yeah, he was pretty, surprised by this too, because I'm pretty much just, spawn killing him. He just wanted to come in and, just play and have some fun, but, just like anyone else, they're going to just sit out here and just spawn kill the LAAT, so he has no chance of using it, which is probably frustrating for him. But yeah, just little effort at all. Little effort at all. And I mean, again, you guys can see that I can shoot the air vehicles out of the sky. Even when they're not paying attention to me, though, the fact of the matter is that I can still shoot them in this vehicle from that far away because the shots are that quick. And it's just, it is insane the fact that this is, that you can do this. And it's funny because again, there's no way you can, it's no way now you can consider this legit because it's clearly obvious you can just sit here and keep killing it over and over. And they can't really do any damage. They can't get a kill with it because I'm already hitting them before they come out. Yeah, so it's plain and simple that you can't really do anything against them. It's so hard to watch this and just like people, the fact that they actually defended this. So, but again, people defended this for years. Even Gears of War 2's beta, people defended it, saying that this was totally legit to spawn kill on the map Trench. And of course, Epic Games said, nah, it's not legit. And they even put an underground area where you could escape from getting spawn killed in the middle of the map underground. And so it's really dumb that people try to still use that as an argument to this day. Almost a decade later, and people still use spawn killing as a reason to keep doing this. And in this part, I'm gonna have to blur out his name because apparently he got taken down from the forums just for showing his name, just because, you know, name and shame for using this exploit. But I'm just gonna, you know, leave him out. I'll block out his name or something if I have to, but I'm just trying to get this out there just so the dice can fix it. I'm not really even caring at this point. Um, at this point, you know, I already posted it. I already reported him. You know, plain and simple. The fact is that I just want to, you know, get this, you know, patched as soon as possible. I just want to show that when you're in that LAAT, you have nothing. I want you guys to see the perspective of that person. There's nothing they can do. They tell them, oh, well, just don't spawn in it. Like, that's not even helpful at all. That is extremely unhelpful. And but I did learn something while spawning in this. That the middle of the LAAT or the AAT doesn't take damage when you shoot it with the laser for some reason. It only takes damage at the very top of it in the very front rim area. It doesn't take damage in the middle area of the vehicle. You will get hit markers. You'll get hit markers if you hit the top of the cannon, and you'll get hit markers if you hit the bottom of the base near the front. But you won't ever get hit markers on anything else on that vehicle. So I thought that was something, you know, unique and something interesting. Find out that I think that might actually be something else that might be a little bit of a bug. It's not intentional. It's just that the damage is not registering when you hit the middle of the vehicle. You're not getting hit markers. So I just wanted to show that. And people were like, well, why don't you, you know, use some of these other things? Like, we'll read off here. Like, why didn't you try to, you know, use a trooper, like a sniper or a rocket launcher, and try to sneak around and do damage? Well, let's try the sniper where I can sneak around him and watch what happens. When I'm trying to like hide behind the wall and have him move up so I can sneak up on him, you can't, because even before stage 1 is even over, they can already do damage to me, and I already have to fall back. So, or not damage. The little like fall back thing pops up, so I can't do anything. I have to fall back. Um, there's no option. So you can't sneak up on this guy on foot. So people go, well, why don't you, you know, get a bomber then? Every time I hear that, get a bomber, get a bomber. And it never plays out well for anyone that tries to use bomber against me because of the fact that it's so easy to hide. Like, if you're a complete noob at it, yeah, you can probably be dumb enough to not know how to take it out. But this is so simple. Look at this. Like, these guys had the advantage, and I was really not on my game on these two. This one and the next clip I'm going to show you, I wasn't even on my game here, and I just wasn't really like all that focused. I was just getting some quick kills and just getting it filmed, and that's all I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to do anything, you know, intense here, trying to get, you know, a big exploit. But look at this, I'm all over the place, and yet even with that, nothing, nothing at all. I just, it amazes me that people can actually think that it's that you can just use, like, the way they talk. They kind of just like to talk in a way that they think like, oh well, if I was in that situation, I would have pulled out like an M16 and I would like have blown away the vehicle and I would have done this. Like, you'll be able to talk a whole bunch of smack, but in reality, they're all talk and they never actually have any proof of it. Here's my proof. Where's your proof? None of it. So the fact is that you can just exploit this as much as you want, and that's why I can't wait for DICE to patch it, because it is just absolutely ruined it for the rest of the people that are trying to play defense. And you know, none of your guys are able to do anything about it. And for the most part, yeah. And if someone else in the bomber, then you're gonna focus on it. So, yeah, just yeah, it's this one. I just amazed me how many people were defending it. That's why I know I need to get over it, because the fact is that Xbox said what they had to say. So the fact of the matter is it's over. Xbox confirmed it's an exploit. And so, if this is an exploit, more likely EA considers it an exploit. So, it doesn't matter what your opinions are again. The fact is that this is in fact exploitative. Anyways, we're going to jump over now to getting to the LAAT. And this time with the LAAT, we're going to show what it can do and how it's even worse than the AAT in terms of exploiting points. The only problem is there's so many dependent variables that it doesn't play out the same way, which is why, even though you should be getting more with the LAAT, you can't because of that. Okay, and here we go with the LAAT. Look at all, what you do is you do quick taps when it's taking damage, and you get good amount of points here. But this is just when I basically started out finding out about this. This is not actually the full on the full legit mother load that we're talking about here. The mother load of all exploits right now is this one right here, but not on this map or anything. I'm just showing you the basic start of it. You just wait for someone to do damage to it, and then once someone does damage to it, you just quickly tap the fire button, and you both get the playing the objective and the damage. And what you're supposed to do, what they intended for, was you to hold down the laser and you just get damage. But what happens if you keep firing it on and off? You get both the playing the objective and the damage both every time, so you're getting extra points for doing so. Both, I feel like the amount of points you get when you hold down it and do damage to it is not enough. But as you can see here, quickly tapping, and you can see here at the bottom, you can just see the numbers just racking up there. And this is before I realized, using heatsink. When I found out about heatsink and the fact that you have unlimited heat, and you can do this. Oh my god, it's just like a machine gun. When you pull the trigger, and it does massive amount of damage, and you can really rack up the points. Kashyyyk is the one that's the worst because you have 2 MTTs with 3 rockets. Your chances and your odds are a lot higher. Even though what I explained in the AAT exploit, you could get about like 50,000. This one, well, in that game, I only got, with the AAT at best like 45,000. In the LAAT, the best I ever got was like maybe like 42,000. But in reality, you can get so much more. The problem is, the best I ever got teammates that ever hit the targets while I had the heat sink on and everything going the way it's supposed to. It only happened like 4 times, which meant I only got like about 45,000, points from this. But you can get so much more. And the way you can get so much more in such a short amount of time too. We're talking about 10 minutes of the Kashyyyk from getting from the beachhead very beginning to the second phase. From that, you're talking about if you do the exploit perfectly, you hit the heat sink at the same time, it takes damage, and you just spam that trigger. You can get somewhere between 10 to 12,000 points every time you do that, and it's about a 20-second cooldown. So that plus the amount of time it takes to get spawned back in after 90 seconds, we're talking about roughly about every 30 seconds you do damage to it. So 2 times a minute. That's 20,000 a minute. 10 minutes, that's 200,000 points we're talking about here. That's how many points you can get. But the problem is those factors there, those only work if no one's shooting at you and you're only going after the MTT and your teammates actually contribute and not just like, go for kills and actually know how to hit their target. Otherwise, if you don't have all those factors playing in there, which is what happens why you can't get that many, is because of the fact that when all those factors aren't playing there, you can't get as many. You might get maybe 20, 30,000, which is still good, but we're talking about 200,000 you could get up to, and that's just if you shoot the MTT. You can shoot other players and get in the stay in the LAAT longer and get even more points. But I'm just trying to do the quick math here for you on that, how quick that is, how much points that is. And think about that, how much is adding up on your score, and how much you can rank up. That's the reason why this one is the mother load of exploits that needs to get fixed. Because when you use heatsink with it, it's insane. You saw already like how many points I got on that just alone. And that's this is late game here. This is late game, and I'm doing this. But this is not even close to Kashyyyk. Kashyyyk is it's so much worse. Look at that. Like already a couple thousand there, and then I get taken out. But oh well. That's the thing now with it. So you're not gonna see many people doing this, but it's still an exploit that DICE does need a patch because of how many points you can get if someone doesn't pay attention to this, and the other team actually does. And seriously, imagine like if they started switching out teammates, like 4 people worked together and did this, like each got a certain amount of points and then traded off. We're talking about 3 or 4 players that could run around as hero all day in there with their class. They can just always run as heroes through the entire rest of the 2 phases as defense. So that's why you need this needs to get patched. Even though it's on one map that you could probably do that on. I don't know how well you could do it on Naboo, but definitely you could do it on here. Naboo, I think it's also 10 minutes to get to the end, but it's a lot harder with narrow ways to go, which is why I only got about maybe close to 2K on this on battle points. But yeah, and let's see here. Yeah. Oh, whoa. Wow. Yeah. No, never mind. Apparently, you can give. I didn't read this footage very well. Apparently, you can get 40,000 on this. So yeah, that's something I didn't think of that while factoring in. That's pretty funny. Okay, and here is the mother load, the one that you've been waiting for, the one that shows you that you can get 200,000 with this. Just looking at this, how much damage I do in this small amount of time, using the heat sink and everything timed right. If I could do this, 20 times within the 10 minute, I can get this much. But yeah, it's this insane. So I'm just gonna let this last clip play out, so you guys are like surprised at how much damage I can do. I do get some kills with this too, but yeah, look at that. Look at that. And that's that's the reason why this needs to get patched. This is the worst of it all. This is the motherload of exploits. Uh, so hopefully DICE patch this soon. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and rate, comment, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts. Thanks. Bye.